Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and record this meeting so we can share it with the folks that aren't here. And this is the September meeting for the Friends of Kountze Public Library. And I did send out an email blast to tell people about joining, because that's our big thing, is trying to increase our membership. And so I did put the Zoom invitation. So I wanted to definitely continue with this meeting today. I do know that our librarian, Julie, will not be able to attend, and Aubrey can't attend. And she asked if we can change the meeting time to Thursdays for this calendar year. And do you have a problem with that, Nancy?
No.
Okay.
Still at 9?
Still at 9.
In the AM. It's the first Thursday of the month, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so she sent me a text about it, apologizing. And so I looked on my calendar, and the rest of the year, Thursdays at 9 is fine for me. I did speak with 2 different moms today this summer, had their kids that were at the library, and they were both interested, but both of those moms work with the school.
Got it.
And so this time they can't meet at this time. And so I had suggested, so well, we could always send you the recording or the agenda ahead of time, and you could tell us what you think, like what your kids like about the programs and ideas and stuff. And
Excellent.
But I noticed on our application it doesn't have an email address contact.
Okay.
And so I put my email address contact on there so they could, if they had questions. Like, I was trying to make a personal connection.
Excellent.
But this was right before school started. I happened to meet both of them before the teachers had to go back.
Right.
And so they, they're obviously not going to be able to make a regular meeting during the day.
And I think
now, I don't know about if it changes to school holidays.
No.
I don't know what would help. I have no idea what's going to help. I'm just saying.
I think if they can, realize that we value their input, and we communicate and we listen to them and we share the recording, I think that's pretty good, because the time works, because Aubrey has kids after school that she has to take places, and Julie's not going to be available at those later hours. It's
right. No, I get that. That's why I didn't know. I don't know what's going to help this situation, but did you send out, when you did this email blast, did you send out the agenda, right? When you said the connection, the invitation to this
I don't remember if I sent that out or not.
Because if you sent the agenda to some people, then
if they had the agenda, this time I did the whole packet. I did everything. The final report, and I did get a response from a mother on the final report, so they did get the whole thing. So I think we'll just keep communicating, and I will go in and edit the application and add an email. That's a good point, because basically I just went on last year's. So I can
I just happened to notice that. So
yeah, I can fix that. So that's great.
Then if there's questions, they have a more personal contact.
And the whole thing is personal, getting personal. So okay, so I was looking, and we met at the library in July, kind of a working meeting, so there were no minutes. And I guess maybe I should have put in the June minutes, but it doesn't look like I did. But so there's no minutes. But do I need to put in the June minutes or send them out? Or do you think it's okay?
Did y'all make any decisions? I thought it was more like getting ready for the summer program.
So. Yeah, I think so. I think we can just go on. All
You
right.
didn't spend any money. You didn't make any financial decisions at that meeting, right? Because that would have to be addressed if you spent money
Okay, I'll
or you
look.
voted. But most of our money stuff has been sent out by email, and we vote by email.
Right, right.
So maybe a summary, like if there was money spent between May and June, that.
I'll look at it and see.
But this is a nice summary that you sent us today. I mean,
Yeah.
of all the expenses,
So
that's
we
very nice. I would have no idea how to do any of this, Kathy. I don't know how to do Excel spreadsheets. I don't
this
know
was not
how to do
Excel.
word
This is
processing.
on
And
this
so
is
all this impresses me. This impresses me so much because I just don't know how to do it.
so
But
it's basically a QuickBook report, and you have to input the budget, and then you can go and do this QuickBook report. And it really is helpful because especially when you do grants, they like to see that.
yeah,
And
definitely.
and so basically we did really well as far as our budget. We were, what we estimated and what we ended up spending was just pretty good. So so we're in good shape there. I actually have not reconciled the Friends account. I did it 3 days ago, and all I have to do is push reconcile, but I didn't want to do it because it was still in August, and so I was going to wait till
it's not the time yet.
So I have it done. I just have to push the button. So anyway, I'll have that. And but the good news is the 250 from Entergy that may have come out. I think we received that check in June. So that was for books that was spent, and it was primarily the awards that we gave on July 14th, and that Entergy check came like mid-June for 250. And then last week I deposited the 5,000 from Hancock Whitney, which is really exciting. And if you recall from last year, we had to pay $250 to get a compilation of our financials.
Yes.
You remember? Well, that was a requirement for this Hancock Whitney grant. So that paid off because we ended up
legal and professional services.
No, Hancock Whitney is 5,000. And if you look, well, the very last page, I have the project budget. It was the last page of the that report that I gave you. And we can go over it in a little bit, but it's basically for 4 programs: spring, fall, winter, and summer.
Okay, I'm back on this budget versus actuals where you were talking about we spent $250 to get that lady to do an audit. What is that category on here? Like there's a lot of categories that I don't always understand. Is that under legal professional services?
Let's see. I have to look at it. That's
because there's 205 under legal professional services, but when you said 250, I was wondering if that was a typo.
It may be. No, it wouldn't be a typo, but it might be something I don't have categorized right. And I'll have to look that up.
Because I don't see 250 under the actual.
Right. I'm thinking it would be legal and professional services. That's the only thing we would have done legal and professional services on. And
that says 205. So maybe it was 205, not 250.
Okay, no, it would be 250, but I could have typed in 205. And so I need to check that. Thank you. You're so good.
No, I'm trying to understand. Like I'm math is my weakness, and so I look at everything like 10 times to try to figure it out.
So that's where that's where it would have been categorized is legal and professional services. That would have been it. That's a professional service, and I don't have it auditing with that's the category. So I probably have it. I just instead of putting 250, I'm gonna have to look at that one. I'll have to look at that because I don't see
Okay.
where else it would be.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to
Well,
understand,
thank
like I
you.
said.
Yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
under rent and lease, where it's like $1,575, was that the Kirby Hill house?
Yeah, we had we did give some money since we had grant money. We gave money to the genealogy and to the music hall and
Oh,
the
oh,
that may
okay.
have also had the rental for the train. No, that the train was probably entertainment. But
Okay.
I
I
can
was just trying to
actually,
understand all these categories.
so what I mean, what's interesting is I can pull this report up and I can click on 1575 and it'll give me my exact
It'll
breakdown.
itemize.
It'll give you the
It'll
exact
itemize.
breakdown and tell you. So it's easy to check
Okay.
and see. And
Well, I
it's,
was pretty sure.
uh-huh. But we ended up giving money to like the genealogy because, you know, they have a hard time getting money and we had the grant money for it. So
Oh, sure, definitely.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we did.
And
So
then repairs and maintenance, was that at the library for?
yeah, a lot of that was the repairs and maintenance was the yard work, the extra mowing, and then I think we
Okay,
bought some
that's
mulch.
Shannon then. Okay.
Yeah, we bought some mulch, and that was basically that.
Okay.
And
The rest of it I kind of understood. The contractors. Who's the contractor?
I have to look at that one because sometimes I miss category. No, contractors.
$160.35.
I'll look that one up too.
I mean, that might be for did we have to pay the guy to come do the computers, upgrade the computers?
No, I'm thinking that might have been the mulch, paying to get the mulch done. I'll have to look that one
Oh,
up.
we had to pay the city people.
Yeah, we had to pay. I'll look that up. It's easy to
I
do.
was just curious. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
trying to figure it out.
I'm happy to look it up. And this is through August 23rd.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah, I see at the top here.
so I don't think it includes the 5,000. It does not include the 5,000 because I don't think
That we got from
Yeah.
Hancock, that Hancock
right,
group.
right. Okay, so let me see. And I haven't heard anything on Tegna that was for ebooks. And I didn't hear anything on Kountze EDC for the picnic tables. But I did send them a letter last week with a breakdown of the money we spent on last year's ebooks, kind of a final report. And then asking again about this next one coming up on picnic tables. So we'll see.
Okay.
And
that's a $2,500.
Yes. And I don't know. They're usually pretty good, but you never know. Okay, and so I'll have to get on the ball for some more grants for next year's summer reading program, but we do have a jump start because of the Hancock Whitney grant. Okay, on old business, the Facebook outreach, which believe it or not, I don't understand. 1.4K, would that be 1,400? That's a stupid question. 1.4K is 1,400, right?
Yeah.
think, yeah. Okay, so in July, we had 4,661 Facebook posts. And in August, we have 1120. So
4,600 what?
61. And then in August, we had 1120. So I guess maybe we get those big posts when it gets picked up by, like, the foundation or Entergy, or, when they see that they've been posted and they share it or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, Facebook has really been good for us. So I just mentioned that the EDC, everything's been spent on that, and I shared the final report. Okay, the summer reading program, I sent out the thank you notes pretty much. I think I got most everybody. I hope. We did, some of them, they did get certificates at the July 14th date. And
That was so nice, Kathy. You went to so much work to do that. It turned out so well.
it was fun. It was kind of something I've wanted to do for many years, and it really did work out. It was just great. And that was, all those exhibits were my COVID project. It's kind of sad to just have them in a closet, so it just worked out
Right.
perfectly.
Right.
And the art contest was super fun. Looking at all those, that brought back, when I analyzed that artwork, that brought back my very early teaching. I had a course on children's art, and
I love that analysis that you did.
yeah, it was just it was so much fun looking at that. So anyway, the little free library is going. I know you go by. I did go by last week and added a few more books to it.
Well, were you there when they had dug pits?
No,
They
tell
dug
me.
this giant pit. They worked on the parking
Oh,
lot and they
yes.
dug a pit. And so now they filled it in with like a gravelly kind of thing. But for a while there is like, well, I really couldn't get to it because they were in the process of working on it.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was able to get to it because it was so dry. But I figured, is it a parking area? Is that what it is?
Yes, they put some kind of material on top so that it wouldn't be muddy.
Okay, cool. Well, everything's, it's going well on that. So haven't had any problems. So that's great. And the butterfly garden, I'm still putting that in. I haven't received the materials bid from Josh Marble, but they've had such a mess there at Kountze City Hall. So I think we just give them a little space.
What happened with that?
Or
Some kind of problem with the
yeah, drama.
conflict between the members?
Yeah, I lost a job. Some people have lost their jobs, so they've got some. They've got a big mess going on there. So anyway,
Not the time to interject, right?
Exactly. We just give them a little space, but we certainly want to work on getting that butterfly garden where it has water, and we need to work on that. Okay, so on new business, if you look, do you have the last page of the packet?
I have all these pages. Which
one
are we looking at?
The very last one.
Literacy support.
Very last one. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just printed them up. I don't know what I've been looking at them, going through them. So
okay. Yeah, the one that says literacy support.
Yes. So, okay.
So you can see on this, it's for every season. We'll have a little money. So we're going to start with the fall season.
Okay, so wait a second. So is this new business we're talking about now?
This is new business, and
okay,
this is the Hank.
Hold on, I'm trying to get all this. I'm taking the notes.
Got it.
So the Hancock Whitney grant, we already talked about the Whitney grant,
and I'm back on it now.
And the membership drive.
No, we're on the Hancock. We're on the Hancock Whitney grant.
But we already talked about the membership drive, right?
We
Are we
kind of
talking
talked
about it
about
again?
everything, but I'm going back over. I'm going to do it back. I'm going to go back
Okay,
over.
I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, yeah. So we did talk about Hancock Whitney a little bit, but on this last page that says literacy support, this is Hancock Whitney. So you might want to write Hancock Whitney on it. This is the grant. I should have put Hancock Whitney.
Because this is what we have to do because to meet the terms of the grant.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So this is Hancock Whitney, and you'll see that we requested 5,000 and we received 5,000. And then the other sources are, they're just matching. It just strengthens your grant. So basically what I asked for was support for the 4 seasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the fall because that's what we're in right now. And that way we can, finish the grant out in a timely manner. And so we have 500 for new books, 250 for a presenter or stipend or transportation, and 250 for ebooks. So what's nice is we again have money for ebooks, which we had spent all of our money last year. So we have $1,000 for this year for ebooks too. So no, we have $1,250 for ebooks. So anyway, so I'll tell Julie she can, well, I guess we need to vote to approve these expenses. And then this is what we're required by the grant, but I still need approval from the board to spend the money. So I should probably do an e-vote, you think?
It'll have to be. We don't have a quorum.
Okay, all right. So I'll do an e-vote to expend the Hancock Whitney funds. Now, on
as per this
yes,
literacy,
yes,
for this for this designated, it's just your proposal, right?
right.
So this
right.
is your proposal. So you just need approval because that's how it was funded. Okay.
Right. And so we need to think about guest presenters and one thought, I don't know, on fall, one thought that ties in with school is I thought maybe there could be a presenter that could teach a class in the computer lab on study skills for children or something on free resources on the internet for children or some kind of program that would help basic skills in technology. I don't know, maybe there might be a teacher that'd be willing to do something.
Well, Tammy can teach all that.
Yeah, but we have 250. So we can spend we can spend to get someone to do that, and that might help her. I don't know. We have 250. So we're open on thoughts for the
now
fall.
This has to be for children. Children has to be the target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Define 0 to age 12 or 18?
Through high school's okay. It's for kids. And the ebooks are all ages, but so we just need to come up with ideas on a presenter.
And this is going to be at the library during the week because you can't have a kids program during the week of school.
That's why I was thinking if it was a program for the parents that targeted the kids, like something that would help them on learning resources that they could help their kids, like tutoring resources that are available. These are math websites, these are reading websites.
Okay.
You know,
Like
that would,
with the TEA website, how to use that for homework and stuff.
yeah, something like that. You know,
Because
these
I
are
tell
free.
you that modern math stuff is just a mess. If I hadn't had tutorials on when I was helping a friend's kids, high school kids, I wouldn't have had a clue how to do any of that.
Uh-huh.
But this needs to be like parents that are working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, couldn't come to it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So it would have to be from 5 to 6 in the
Well,
evening.
you know, and it may, you know, they may not be able to come. It might be geared, you know, it may be geared to, there's still a lot that don't work, or it could be a combination of daytime. And I don't think we want it to go beyond the hours of the library, you know, because
No, I don't think you're allowed to. They said the
no,
city sets the hours of the
right,
library.
right. Anyway, so that's one program. The winter program, you know, we always have Santa as an option. Uh, you know, we could, that'll help pay for that. The spring is open. We could have, and then we have 500 for summer. And so Aubrey was going to, she asked, she had wanted to get the magician last year, and the magician was booked. And so she's thought maybe it's early enough that he's not booked. So she was going to inquire if he were available and find out his price. So,
Well, doesn't Kountze schools, they have all these days off during the fall, could at the library would still be open. So maybe we could have one of these tutoring classes in the fall or whatever in the winter, that the library's open, but the kids are out of school.
that's a thought.
Because there's a lot of days the kids get off nowadays, like when we didn't have that growing up.
Right.
And so and
Yeah.
those those two ladies I was speaking to before are teachers' aides. I guess that's what they call them.
Right.
And they would be off at that time.
Okay.
You know, the school teachers would all be off at that time. Sometimes the school teachers themselves, those are work days, right?
Yeah, work
Kids
days,
are
right.
off.
Right.
But I guess if I'm just trying to brainstorm a time
That's a good idea.
that the kids could come, and I don't know if we want to do computer tutoring like you said, but if we could get the date, we'd have to get a date lined up before we could even get a person lined up.
Right.
So I don't know how to access the Kountze School District kids thing. Like
Well,
they have it online, right?
The first thing I can do is check the school calendar. That'll be on the website.
Is that public information?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they let people know about kids anymore because the world's so crazy.
No, it's public information. I've got that on my to-do list to check that out.
Okay, so check out the dates this fall that are available, that the kids would be off looking for something to do. And then maybe we could get a program around there. And I don't know if computer tutoring is it. I mean,
right. I think it's going to depend on
us.
Some of that's going to depend on what Tammy wants to do. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. So
right. So I'll ask Tammy her preference. And, you know, it could be some of these people, you know, we may come up with some programs that are no charge, and we would just be able to offer more programs. So, don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then, so you can see I have 2,000 for the summer program. So that's a nice start. So anyway, so that takes care of the Hancock Whitney, and we'll do an e-vote. And then the membership drive, back to the agenda.
Okay, just a second, back to this fall program.
Mm-hmm.
So the children's books, the prizes you're talking about, are you talking about kids come to this program thing, then we're going to
It'll-
give them prizes for
Yeah, we
coming,
can give
like
them a free
books.
book like we did before. It's basically
Okay.
that the matching book grant. I had 500 down there at the bottom. So you get free books when you spend books. So that's what those are, the children's books and prizes. Yeah, it just built, and some of those books may, and I'll have to look at it, and it may be that I believe Julie likes to buy Baker and Taylor books, and it might be that I could tell her that she can order some books from Baker and Taylor instead of getting them from the ones I get. The ones I get, you get half and free books, but
Well,
she might.
Yeah.
She,
I was thinking about if we might could do like a Halloween party quote read thing for the and sometime in October,
fun.
and everybody could dress up and like somebody like a book character or whatever, and then we could read the books. And I don't know, I'm just brainstorming here. That would make it more fun than just come to the library. It would be, the themes have worked well, right? Like if we do a theme. So that's just a thought. Sometime in October, the kids might have an extra day off of school, and
there isn't, I mean, we could have the theme party, and there's your money. I mean, that's funded with, you've got the books funded, and I mean, you're not really having to pay a presenter for that. So but it's a way to get the books in the hands of the kids. And
right, and yeah, and there's a lot of Halloween kind of books now. I don't know how many people around here object to Halloween, because you've got those people too.
But you can
But
call it
we could just call it a dress up party, not a Halloween party, just a dress up theme. Yeah, a fun dress up thing. And of course, I could come as a bee, although my October is pretty much booked. But just a thought. I'm just brainstorming
I think it's a
on
great idea.
make it a fun party event. And Kona ice again, or because it's still going to be stinking hot, I'm afraid. The Kona ice worked really well, I think. And
well, I can tell you, I'm going to be out of the country the last part of October. So if we're going to do something like that, we'd have to do it towards the the first 2 weeks of October. But that might still be okay. I mean, because things get, if we call it fall fall. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay. Then we have, but it's fun to have money to work with at this point in the game. The membership drive, I went ahead and sent an email blast out, and I haven't heard from anybody, but people, I know some people read it. So, that's all we can do is just share it. I do want to mention, and I have to ask Joanne, but Frances Bethay is a life member, and her mother is a life member. And this goes back to when the library was built. They were significant donors. And in fact, the children's section has the Bevel credit sign.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see.
Well, what's horrible is her mother's name is not on any of my membership lists. And, when I took over, I had paper lists, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why her mother's name isn't listed as a life member, but I did send that blast out, and Frances was kind of, I hate to say it, she was not happy, because I sent it like an invite to join, and she says, my mother and I are life members. So I'd like to do something, I don't know what, but to recognize what they've, to recognize them. I felt bad. I apologize for that, but I certainly need to get her mom's name and get it listed as a life member and do something.
Yeah, what are their first names again?
But Frances Bethay, and her mom's name is Blair. I believe it's Marietta Blair, but I have to ask Joanne.
Okay.
So
honor them in some way.
right.
Well, speaking of honoring people, those roses you had planted in my honor, those have really done well, haven't they? In spite of the drought.
I know.
In spite of the drought.
I know.
I'm glad we've had them last year, not this year, because it would have been, they probably wouldn't have made it, but they're doing well.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Okay. All right. So I already talked about the ebook training. That's going to depend. Oh, no, ebook training. So that's something that needs to be scheduled. I need to follow up because we had on the summer reading program, on the form that the parents turned in, they had a box to check if they wanted more information on ebooks. So I need to target that group and offer something for training, like a day after school, or just communicate.
Do you have enough whatever to use, do it per Zoom?
Yeah, we can do it on Zoom. And it could
I mean, I'm just wondering, a lot of time people don't want to be driving all around and stuff. I don't know.
We've got it where there's those little videos. They just need a library card, and then we have 2 videos. They could easily watch it. So I could maybe even just send them an email with those links.
That's true. That would be more convenient, probably.
But we need to follow up on it because they said they were interested.
So are you going to do that? Are you going to send out?
I put a star by it, so I'll try and do that. And then that Usborne Books is now called Paper Pie. And I was looking at what books I had here, and I don't quite have enough to do a raffle, but I'd like to do some of those, do a few more, raffles on that, because that it's just something else to promote on Facebook, and it makes us a little bit extra money because we don't do too well on the used books. I mean, we do well on, let me take that back. The used book sales, unbelievably, are bringing in money every month. And it surprises me how much we have brought in on that. But
where does that come in under here?
At the beginning, let's see, used book sales, let's see. We have $401
here under
at the it was revenue. It says used and book sale donations. That also includes the eyeglasses, but that's so small I didn't.
Well, that's looking good, isn't it?
It's surprising. You wouldn't think $400.
Not out of used books, no.
So yeah, it is surprising. But see, so the raffles go. That's where the raffle money goes in. So it has helped.
Yes.
So, and then I put back to school ebook fair. I don't have time to coordinate that right now. It's a great idea. It's a way to get free books for us, but at this time, I don't have time to do that.
Right. It's fine.
And then I haven't heard back from Julie on if she had anything to report. other than I know personally she's going to be a mess because her son has a skin cancer, and I think he goes September 9th to MD Anderson. So I think she's kind of a
Oh.
basket case about that.
Yeah, she does tend to worry about your kids, right? Be worried about
Yeah.
our kids.
Yeah. So, well, Nancy, you, as always, you give me creative ideas. Oh, there's another, let's see, there's another page that I think is a good page to look at. And that was this one that says profit and loss by tag group.
Yes.
Okay, so these are the different grants that we had. So the EDC, we received.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
Yeah.
How the different ones we got.
Yeah.
You're
So
so
that's,
good at being able to get those. Thank
yeah.
you.
So that was a nice little report I was able to look at. And anyway, the way I was able to generate that is I had to put a tag in there, and that was what those titles were. And then okie dokie. Well, that is mainly what I have. I've got some financial stuff I'll have to go back over and look at the school calendar and talk to Tammy and Julie about possible programs, do the e-vote, and talk about the fall fund program. Okay. Well, we're doing good. I just hope we can get some new members this year. That's a big thing.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that. And looking at, I don't know about the first 2 weeks in October either, because I'm speaking at the Texas Master Naturalist annual state meeting. I'm giving a presentation there. Because of the eclipse, they moved it to the second week in October. Usually it's the third week in October, but they moved it this year. And then I'm already in the Rice Festival, October the 6th.
Oh,
I don't know, October the 9th
the 7th and the 14th are BTA Day and the preserve.
I know it, and I'm already booked for those. And then I have my MD Anderson. I have to go to MD Anderson for 2 days to see doctors and get labs. But like October the 9th and 10th, the 9th is Indigenous People Columbus Day. If the kids had that day off of school, which usually they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could look at something like that.
Okay.
Just saying.
I mean, that
would be. You're here then. I'm here then.
That's a colorful theme. It'd be a colorful theme.
Yeah, unless the city might have that day off, right?
Oh, yeah, they will.
But some of them don't. Sometimes the cities don't have that day off.
Well,
I'm just saying, now everything is weird. So.
Well, you know what? We could maybe do something at the City Park North if they're closed.
Yeah, because how much money do we have for that day?
We have $1,000, but I mean, we're not going to spend all of it.
No, but it would be fun to rent one of those water things, because it's going to be hot. Rent one of those water dealies. I don't know how much that costs for one day, but for a nonprofit organization, you could get somebody local to do it. And because the city does have water out there. Are you talking north is the Carver Park, right? So
right.
If the kids are off school that day and we've had like a water into the summer, which our summer lasts.
I don't know about water and books. I'd rather just have the snow cones, because water and books don't go too well together.
Well, we wouldn't be like handing out the books right then. They'd have to leave. But anyway, that's just a thought. That would be very attractive to have that there, would be very attractive to that neighborhood, because I went out to check on the little free library like this weekend. I guess it was yesterday. And people across the street from there had rented one of those water deals, and they had a lot of people there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a
Okay,
thought.
we'll look at that day and see, that's a good option.
Because
And then-
the park's usually open even when everything else is closed.
Right.
The city usually
So
opens the
tentatively
parks.
put that day at the park. I'm thinking the park would be good, because I mean, we for sure can get books. We can for sure get books. So just tentatively put that day in.
Okay. Well, I hope I have my PowerPoint presentation ready by then, because I'm flying out on Wednesday. And
It's so exciting. Where are you going? What city?
McAllen, Mission, Texas is where it is this year. So like all of those the sea turtle place in South Padre, we have field trips there. We have field trips down at the Resaca's along the border. We have field trips, I think those ranches around there that are doing the ocelot preservations, and
Oh,
yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. And
Oh.
so anyway, but my topic is fairs, festivals, and farmers markets, about how to do activities to get people to come to your conservation message. But I'm up against wolf spiders, so probably it's going to be hard to compete against wolf spiders, because you know those conferences, they have a bunch of stuff going. But anyway, it's going to be my co-presenter that was supposed to help me with this, that we were working on it. She ruptured her colon last week.
Oh shoot.
And she is in the hospital, had a massive surgery. And so she's out for that count probably. And so now I'm kind of, I know the content, but I don't know PowerPoint very well. And so I just have to draw on my other chapter members to help me with that.
Well, I can help you if you need help.
Well, you have enough to do, but our chapter members I'll ask you if I can't find, but our chapter members get volunteer time for helping me do
Okay.
this.
Well, you have
So-
two options. You could do the Word PowerPoint, or you can do the Google slideshow. So it just depends.
I've already started whatever Microsoft 365, whatever they
Right.
have.
Okay.
PowerPoint. I don't know what that.
PowerPoint.
See, I don't even understand those words you're talking about.
Yeah.
So last year, the one I did, you could click on. You started with the blank one, the blank template, and you could do whatever and click on designer, and it would pop up these real pretty options.
Right.
Well, it's not like that this year. This year, they want you to pick out a template with a theme. The theme is like birthdays or weddings or something, sales thing. Well, none of mine fit into any of their templates. So I'm going to have to ask some of these other people, these younger people that know how to do it.
Well, I'm here if you need me. I can help
thank
you. I'd be
Kathy.
happy to. I'd be happy to.
I might have to do that, but
yeah, I'd be happy to. Don't stress over it, because I work pretty fast. I say that, but then I work pretty long too.
you have a lot on your plate too. So I hope your husband's health is better.
He's doing better. He's doing better, but yeah, he's yeah. I have to work on him. But see, I'm going to be out in October. I'm going to Italy. We're going to Italy.
I love that.
So yeah, so I'll be arrivederci.
Yeah, right. Are both of y'all going, or? Good for you.
Yep. So it's
you
another.
loved your trip. You loved your trip last year. I'm glad you get a chance to do that.
Yeah, this one I've highlighted. It's an independent trip. It's just the two of us, and we'll go on train again. And it'll be some of it's, I hit the pilgrimage sites too. So it'll be
right.
It'll be a combination, but it'll be pretty cool. So anyway, that's about all I have, Nancy. And it's 9:51. We covered a lot. Got a lot more to do. And the first thing I'll do right now is I'll get on those finances. and get that reconciled.
Oh,
and,
sure, no worries. And send out that email for
for the
eVote.
vote. And let's on the 9th, what time do you prefer? You know, do you prefer morning or afternoon? I guess we need to see if the kids are off, because they're sometimes not off on Columbus Day.
Right.
So
Right.
that goes back to
Probably
the
they're gonna
school
sleep
calendar.
in. They're probably gonna sleep in, but if it's still hot, maybe we could try 10 in the morning. I
Okay.
don't know.
And
I'm not a
and,
mom. You need to find, I think a lot of kids sleep in on their days off school. So,
and
but
if
maybe the cone of ice would draw them out.
right,
I don't
and
know.
if they happen to have school on Columbus Day, then should we do it like 4 to 5?
That would be fine with me if they would come out.
And if we have Kona ice, they might.
Right.
So
We'll have to do some signage to advertise it there at the park.
yeah,
But those aren't very expensive, right?
we could also, we have not tried sharing anything with the churches, a flyer with the churches, which might be, that might be good. Well, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and I guess we'll cut this off, and hopefully the recording works, and hopefully everything's okay with Joanne. And
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get these minutes out. I'm leaving tomorrow morning early to go to Olympic National Park. I'm hiking for 8 days. Richard and I are. So
well,
I got a lot to do today. You know how that is. The day before you leave somewhere, such a mess. But I'll try to get these done before I leave, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling.
all
Thank you
right,
so much
sounds
for all
good.
you do.
Okay, thank you too, Nancy. All
All
right,
right. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.